Live at 5, when your car needs repair, you never want to hear the words aftermarket parts.
No, you don't. Well, certain body shops won't use car parts made by third-party manufacturers, but original parts come at a price. Atlanta News First consumer investigator Better Call Harry here to help us all save some cash.
You know, I didn't know until today that I do not have coverage for factory parts. OEM, which, by the way, there will be a quiz after this, means original equipment manufacturer. I hope I got that right. I think I did. Listen, I'm trying to help a viewer who emailed me about his son's accident. The insurer says it only pays for aftermarket parts. The collision shop where he went says we only use original parts. I just found out before we went on the air that the car is fixed, but the son got stuck with the $2,300 price difference. We talked to a collision shop owner who says aftermarket parts are standard for most insurers.
This is a good example of how we paint the bumpers off the vehicle.
James Emerson is the owner of Budget Auto Painting in Chamblee. He's been in the business since he was 16, and if it were his choice, every repair would use factory parts. However, that is not the way most insurance claims work. Odds are your policy requires aftermarket parts, used parts, or a combination. How do you fight to get that part?
There's nothing we can do. We can't make the insurance pay for a new part. If it doesn't fit, we can call them and start over with factory. Sometimes they want us to chase other sources for aftermarket parts.
James says there are several aftermarket part suppliers in Metro Atlanta that insurers require him to go to first. He says the quality has gotten better over the years, but says nothing compares to the original. He can request original parts, but only if he can prove the aftermarket part does not fit.
We don't get paid to pre-fit a panel before painting it. So a lot of times it's painted, we put it on, try to adjust it, and it becomes a problem.
And if it does become a problem, then they can make that argument. The takeaway for you is to call your insurer and ask now if you have that coverage, because you probably don't. Some insurers, we found out, like Liberty and Farmers, offer OEM, that's factory parts coverage, as an add-on. OEM, by the way, stands for
Original equipment manufacturer.
You got it.
Yay.
There is one other insurance company that it is standard for them to use original equipment. It's Chubb Insurance. They use factory parts for all of its repairs.
All right, Harry, so what about the viewer who's being charged that $2,300 extra fee for the parts? Should they pay it?
I just found out. I said, send me the contract, because if you sign this, if they signed this and said, you know, we agreed to paying the extra charges for original parts, they have to pay it. Right now, that shop won't give them the information, which means we may be getting involved, and this may end up being a story. Get this all cleared up before you have an accident, and hopefully you never do. I'm Better Call Harry. Atlanta News First investigates.